Hi everyone. Thanks KCNL for letting me come up here tonight. My name is Winston Wu, and I'm here to tell you about Pingspot, P-I-N-G-S-P-O-T, a simpler, better way to discover great businesses. You'll notice I've underlined two keywords here, simpler and great. Hopefully by the time I'm done here, you'll come to appreciate the beauty of simplicity at Pingspot. The simplicity is in fact what we think makes Pingspot great. Unique compared to lots of other local business apps, and most importantly, useful. So let's just start with the problem that we're trying to solve. Discovering great businesses is hard. Sure, there are lots of popular websites and apps out there where you can get this kind of information, and I've listed a few of them here. But if you search for a local business recommendation on any of these sites or others, you're likely to come across some frustrating, annoying problems, which I've listed across the top. And those problems all kind of fall under the umbrella problem of too much noise. So for example, when you're searching on Google or some of the popular Hong Kong chat forums for a recommendation, you basically just come across too much information that you have to click through, search through, digest, and make any sense of. Or if you visit a reviews and ratings site, you go through these long reviews trying to find that one piece of useful information that can actually help you make a decision. Not only that, you're resigned to the fact that most people only write reviews when they've had a great experience or a terrible experience. And when you kind of get 100 of those together for one business, it kind of all converges to 3.5 or 4 stars. And so it's really hard to distinguish a great business from just a mediocre or bad business on some of these rating sites. Scope issues apply to OpenRice, obviously, where you can only search for restaurants. Even on Foursquare, where you can only, where generally people check into the same types of businesses. And then just generally with a lot of these sites, you get information written by people that you don't know, that you don't trust, that probably aren't like you. They may not even be real people at all. So even though you're getting lots of information, it's not necessarily useful information. It's information that you have to take with a grain of salt. So despite having all these mega websites and apps out there, what do? We still turn to our friends for recommendations. We know them, we trust them. But it's really slow and tedious to have to call a friend up every time you're looking for a recommendation. Not to mention that even your best friend will probably get annoyed after some time. So we thought it'd be really useful to build an app that made it really fast and easy for you to share great businesses. Any kind of business, anywhere in the world. Restaurants, bars, hotels, doctors, whatever. The types of businesses that you typically refer to your friends. You can kind of put all of those favorite businesses all in one place for you to search and access at any time. And that's what Pingspot is. It's just a really simple and useful tool for you to record, share, and discover great businesses from people that you trust. We're a free iPhone app. We launched version 1 in late January. At its core, at its simplicity, or at its simplest, imagine something like Twitter, where you're following your friends, experts, even some celebrities, and you're seeing what they're tweeting, except everyone only tweets about great businesses that they love. This is what it looks like. The concept is really simple. You ping great businesses you love. If you don't love it, you don't ping it. Every ping is a recommendation of a great business. We reward users in the app for making recommendations that other people actually agree with. So no point just filling the system up with lots of bad pings. And the important thing here is it's your friends and featured contributors that you're following. And I'll talk more about featured contributors later. But as a result of those connections and the content that people are sharing, you get to this newsfeed, this home screen, which is a long, scrollable list of great businesses recommended by people that you trust. And you can socialize about the business they pinged. You can agree with the user who pinged it. If the business looks interesting, you can save it to your to-do list for later. The content is really simple, easy to interpret, and most importantly, useful. A couple other features on this screen, groups. So we've created 15 groups or communities of people with similar interests. So groups like foodies, or shopaholics, or the party crowd. Yes?
How do you reward people?
Pardon me?
You say you reward people.
Yes. I can get to that later, but we have some game features that basically incentivize certain user behavior. So groups. So anyone can join and share pings into these groups. And within each group, you can search for the popular businesses within that group. And later on, we'll actually have a ranking of the users who have contributed the most popular businesses in that group. So the whole purpose of groups is to discover great businesses recommended by people outside of your circle of friends, as well as to discover new credible users to follow that you might not know of. Another feature, suggestions. It's a feature that we've yet to roll out, but we'll plan to make suggestions to you based on the places you've pinged, the places your friends have pinged, and then optionally, based on some Facebook information that you can provide if you wanted recommendations that suited your tastes. From that newsfeed, you can drill down to a specific business, and we'll show you some useful information like location, photos, tips from other users. We're also fully transparent about who has previously pinged that business. So in our app, every ping has a user profile attached to it. So there's no anonymity. There's generally no fake users because we use Facebook social sign-on. So we hope that this transparency really maintains the value of a ping. That it really is a recommendation of a great business coming from a real person, and that person is actively and visibly standing behind that ping. Pingspot's also a noise-free city guide. So if you search for nightlife in, let's say, Hong Kong or anywhere, you can choose to see the most popular places that have been pinged by everyone, or you can choose to filter down to just see the popular places pinged by your friends, or you can filter down even further and just see the places that you yourself have pinged. And so in that way, it's a useful tool for you to record great businesses that you've come across that you might want to access later on in the future. So with these screenshots, hopefully you get a sense for what Pingspot is, what it looks like, obviously, and kind of just how simple and useful it can be. Earlier, I talked about the ability to follow featured contributors or experts in the app. We're obviously a new app, but we've been lucky enough to partner with some popular sites and sources in Hong Kong. And they're contributing recommendations into the app. They're contributing content for our social media. They're also promoting the app to their thousands of followers. And so these featured contributors so far are broad-ranging. Anywhere from women's lifestyle experts like Sassy Hong Kong and Dim Sum and Then Some, to Foodie Magazine and their restaurant recommendations, even to, we have a celebrity Hong Kong race car driver called Daryl O'Young. He's really popular and he's really promoting our app to his followers. But this is a huge priority for us to really build out the featured contributors, not only to get our app out there, but to get expert content throughout those public groups that I mentioned earlier. Another way that we're looking to promote our app is through the Pingspot Pass. The Pingspot Pass is a physical discount card that anyone can show to our partner businesses and get a specified discount. And so you can see up here, we've got some popular businesses already as partners. Clubs like Play, Pool Hall Racks, Brick House, Mexican Restaurant. We've also got some lesser known businesses like Art Jamming, a hair salon there. The point is, Pingspot wants to be associated with great businesses, any kind of business. And this discount card allows us to give our users some tangible offline benefits outside of the app. It also lets us reach out to the non-iPhone crowd as we're working on expanding to other platforms still.
I think some of the startups want to know, how did you get in contact with some of these people?
Yeah.
And how hard is it to negotiate with some of these local businesses?
So there's a lot of cold calling. So right now we have about 25 businesses that are on the card. Most of them are just result of pitching to restaurant groups, entertainment groups, people that we know, friends of friends. It really is just a manual sales job, really.
So you use Timeout?
So we want to reach out to Timeout. Well, Timeout is one of the publications that we're reaching out to become a featured contributor.
They're here tonight.
Really? Then perfect. I'd love to talk to you. Hi. But yeah, I mean, it really is just a manual, very labor-intensive process to try to get them to sign on. In terms of negotiating with them, what we're offering them is exposure on our pass, on our platform, which is only associated with great businesses. So it's good that there's the positive association with our app, which is only about great businesses. It's also great that they can get exposure on our website and to our users, because we make all sorts of announcements for whatever they promote.
So they're open to working with you?
They are open, but at the same time,
pay them?
We're not paying them anything. Okay. But the biggest challenge is there are tons of apps out there, as you all know, especially in F&B. So it's really hard to differentiate yourself. It's really hard to make that pitch. But we're fortunate enough that they bought in and they're willing to try out our platform and be partners with us right from the get-go. But it is really hard because a lot of these, I feel like I'm giving them free advertising. But to them, they look at it as you're just another app. So it really is a long sales process to convince them that Pingspot really is unique compared to what's already out there.
What do you think the tipping point will be for them to be happy with this kind of promotion?
They haven't expressed any sort of need for metrics, and we're lucky because frankly we got delayed with our launch by a few weeks, and we originally signed up for kind of a 6-month to 12-month lock-in for those early partners. So we started a little late, but they were flexible. They understood. All of them are being promoted at our launch party, so they understand, fortunately, that this happens. They're kind of extending. But obviously, we're making a big push here to build our user base, to get the Pingspot passes out there in the hands of not only users, but also just other locals in Hong Kong that might be interested in the brand, and so that these businesses can start to see benefits.
Can I ask you, what's the deal with Brickhouse?
Brickhouse is a late night deal special. So you can get 3 for 2 on drinks, or they have a really good taco special where you can get 3 tacos, a beer, and a tequila for $190.
Can we get that tonight?
You can get it tonight. Yeah. I've got a bunch of Pingspot passes with me, which I'll get to later, but happy to pass them out and get the word out there. How do we make money? Actually, why don't I address the point that you made, and it just kind of talks a little bit more about the app. So we have game features in our app, and that's to incentivize the right type of behavior. So, as I said, we have pings, which are kind of the center of the app. We also have these game features called rings and wings. So rings are kind of your score. It's a measure of how credible of a user you are in the app. And you only earn rings for making good recommendations, either when people agree with what you've recommended, or when I've recommended a business, and let's say my friend tries out that business and he subsequently pings it, he can give me credit. So in other words, it's giving me positive feedback that I made a good recommendation. And as a result of that, I earn more wings. So the point is, the more rings you've collected, the higher your score in the app, the better or more credible of a source you might be for other strangers to follow you. Wings are kind of a separate animal. They're similar to Foursquare badges, except we have both quantity as well as quality-based wings. But you'll have to download the app and try to play with it to kind of see how you can get to those different levels of wings.
Is there a reason why you made it so complicated? Why do I need wings, rings, and pings?
They're fun. I mean, ultimately what we plan to do is it's a way for us to eventually make money. So rings and wings, and I'll talk about this later, we want them to be redeemable with our partner businesses. And so if it's a sign that you're a credible recommender, then we can pitch that to businesses as this person is now at your restaurant or business or whatever, it's worth giving him some sort of discount. So it's a way to just try to kind of establish credibility so that later on there's something to partner with businesses on. Hopefully people will find it as kind of more fun than more complicated, especially since there's no real effort to really earn these other than you have to make good recommendations. As for the concern you raised, within the groups, so groups are the only real public forums in the app. It's the only place where I can ping a business and a whole bunch of other users will see it. So obviously there's an element of quality control that's required within groups. So when I ping something to a group, other users can flag it. They can flag it as spam. They can flag it as inappropriate for that group. And so through that mechanism, through kind of user feedback, we can eliminate not only bad pings, or we can also just warn users about inappropriate content. How do we make money? This part's tricky. It starts with building a large user base, an engaged user base. And obviously that takes time. We're a new app. And we recognize that it'll be a while before we have sufficient mass to be able to market this and monetize this. But we're patient. And the play here is on local, social, mobile, which everyone knows, big opportunity, also big competitors. We're aware of that. But when we do get there, it's the primary revenue stream here is lead generation. We know what users like. We know what their friends like. We have pretty good history built up by that point, and we can charge premium, hopefully, for that type of access. Other kind of avenues that competitor apps or similar types of sites have tried: sponsored search listings. That's pretty common, as well as wings. As I said, that's another way. Foursquare does it well with badges, where you can have like a Starbucks badge, and they sell that to Starbucks for $75,000. So that's those are other kind of creative ways that we can try to kind of get complementary revenue. But the core really is lead generation. But again, it all starts with building a user base. And so to that end, that's kind of what we're focused on here for the next few months. This Thursday, we have a launch party to promote our app, to build our user base, to promote our partners and featured contributors. And I'll talk more about that at the end. Android will be the next platform we move to. As I said, we're a free iPhone app right now. We're looking at Android next. And to get there, we need to build a team. We're looking for talented iPhone and Android users. I'm actually looking for a technical co-founder. So if there's anybody out here tonight, or anybody you know that might be interested, please definitely reach out to me. But definitely kind of solidifying the development team is kind of an immediate priority. As I said earlier, we're also looking for featured contributors to add to the core group, and as well mentors and advisors, really, just to help shape the direction of the company. And so with that, I'll close. As I said, launch party. Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
How do you define what a great business is?
It's up to you. So just like any other kind of in-person referral, you're really just relying on the source. You know the person who's making that recommendation, and so you have to decide for yourself, is this person someone worth trusting?
So it's like a popularity contest.
Not necessarily. You can choose to unfollow people that you think are making bad recommendations. The point is that just like in real life, if I know Casey does not know anything about restaurants, and he's pinging a lot of restaurants, I might have to take that with a little bit of grain of salt. But if I know Casey's great at recommending something, and he's pinged that, then I can very easily, at least I know it's Casey who's put his name behind this ping, and I can use that information to make a decision.
And I want to get wings.
Exactly.
Or rings or wings, right?
Exactly. You want to get rings, though, for making good recommendations.
I get wings, right? Real chicken wings or just a wing?
You'll see. Launch party. Okay, so this Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. at Play in Central, we have a big launch party. It's free, public, open to the public, and you can RSVP at pingspot.eventbrite.com. Actually, just got the event sponsored by Belvedere, so it'll be a lot of fun. We have free drinks for people who RSVP on Eventbrite, download our app, and ping a business. You got to do all three. It's only 3 steps. I know, but unfortunately, we've got a lot of people already RSVP'd. They want their free drinks.
A free Belvedere or a free?
So Belvedere sponsor.
Belvedere.
Yeah, so we have cocktails that are Belvedere, that are vodka, and we have free beer, free wine as well. So those are all free. And then 2-for-1 drinks for all other guests who are too either lazy to do that or have Android phones. Yes, sir.
So how much time and money have you invested so far?
Time, we started coding in late July. And then we launched our version 1. We had to kind of iterate, actually, in October. We had to change the concept a little bit.
What was it originally?
It was originally going to be more similar to like a up and down measurement system. So you could either ping something or you could ding something. But then, yeah, exactly. It was actually called ping ding.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my head it was. But then we got some user feedback, and it wasn't differentiating enough. OpenRice is happy faces, and I don't know what the other one is, right? And that simplifies things a little bit. But the point is, we really wanted to get this down to its core, which is just great businesses. Like, we don't care if Casey thinks a place is terrible. All we want to know is, what does Casey think is great? And that's where I should go try out and check out. So we really, kind of in October, did this kind of quick iteration that delayed us a little bit. And And then we launched our version 1, as I said, in late January. So anyway, without that delay, I don't know, might have saved a month. I don't know. What was I? Yeah, 2 for 1 drinks for everyone else, and lots of prizes. We have a game, a raffle, sponsored prizes, lots of fun. So hopefully everyone comes out. As I said earlier, if there's any developers that are interested in learning more about Pingspot, or even other people who just want to learn about Pingspot, please reach out to us. Our email is team@pingspot.com. Social media is right there. Our app is free to download. And wait, let's see a question.
Is it going to be an English version or do you have a Chinese?
So right now it's English version. In a short period of time, actually I just sent it to my friend to translate a bunch of stuff. But we'll have a Chinese version hopefully relatively soon.
How do you get users to use this?
It starts with the launch. It really is just education. That this is a unique app. It's not like a lot of other reviews and ratings apps out there. It's a fun app. It's very easy to do. It's very useful. And then through that launch, just kind of viral. It's viral. So in the app, first thing you do is connect with your friends, connect with your Facebook friends. So you can, if they're already on there, you follow them. If they're not on there, you can invite them, which we're hoping a lot of users will do at the launch party. Then there's just social media, getting the word out. Those are kind of the traditional ways. And then, as I said, through feature contributors, they're big partners in helping to promote our app. So they're sharing the content, and they're driving, hopefully, their followers to use our app.
Any other questions?
How big is your database of businesses right now?
We're built on top of Foursquare.
Foursquare.
So Foursquare's got millions of businesses worldwide. But as I said, people generally check in to the same types of businesses. So you see a lot of restaurants and bars and shops on Foursquare. But you don't necessarily see the other types of businesses that you could use Pingspot for, to refer to your friends. So in our app, you can add businesses. You can add local contacts. Let's say you have a personal trainer. He doesn't have an address, so you can't really check in with him. But he's definitely somebody that you're willing to refer to a friend. Or doctors, hair salons. Those types of businesses, people don't really check into as much on Foursquare. And so actually, that's another way that we're trying to broaden our database beyond what they're providing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.